Salamlar, bu günləri sizinlə bir daha görüşürük. Həmişəki kimi həftənin hər üçüncü günü biz Jolly Phonics proqramı üzrə, Jolly Phonics və Jolly Grammar proqramı üzrə beynəlxalq təlimçilərlə görüşürük. Bugünkü görüşümüz Kuwaitdən olan yeni bir təlimçimizlə olacaq və bildiyiniz kimi hər bir danışığımız həm ingilis dilində, həm də Azərbaycan dilində ana dilimizdə səslənilir. I would like to greet everyone, and I would like to remind you that every Wednesday at 8 o'clock, sometimes about 3 o'clock, we are meeting with one of the Jolly Phonics and Grammar Trainer from an authorized Jolly Phonics trainers from all over the world. This time we are going to meet with Miss Farah from Kuwait. Who is she? And let's get information. How is she teaching Jolly Phonics and Jolly Grammar program, and how is she sharing her experience with us?
Hello.
Hello there.
I think I'm upside down. It's iPad, so no, 1 minute. Let me link on my phone because it's okay
no
now.
problem.
Yeah. Okay, good.
Yes, now it's okay.
Hello.
Hello there. I would like to remind you that our conversation will be translated into my native language. And so I have already introduced you in Azerbaijani, so I would like you to tell us about yourself and introduce us yourself and tell us your experience about Jolly Phonics and Jolly Grammar.
First of all, hello. My name is Farah. I'm from Kuwait. I'm an English teacher. I've been teaching English for like 16 years now, elementary stage. I've been introduced to Jolly Phonics around 2014. It was in an ITEFL conference in UK. It was like a conference with all of the teachers around the world, sorry. And
Yes.
when I saw the way that they taught Jolly Phonics, it was like I've never seen how to teach phonics and letters with story and movement and songs. So that's how I fell in love with Jolly Phonics, and I've been using Jolly Phonics ever since. It's been 7 years now. Of course, in Kuwait, we don't use it in our schools as much as we want, but I do implement the Jolly Phonics in my private business and with my students. You know, when I'm teaching elementary, I do use it once in a while with the phonics. So that's just a brief about how I was introduced to Jolly Phonics.
So I would like to translate everything to my native language so that it will be easier for the parents to understand about Jolly Phonics. And the thing is, having this live on Instagram page is just to inform about the parents and the parents about this program. As your country, in my country, it's the same way. It's really difficult to play this in the government schools, but the Ministry of Education in Azerbaijan supported us a lot and helped us with different projects. We have been applying it more than 7-8 years already in Azerbaijan. Not to most of the schools, but in our private schools, yes. So I'm going to translate everything. Fərəh xanım bildirdi ki, o Kuwaitdə hal-hazırda yaşayır və orada Jolly Phonics proqramını tətbiq edən ingilis müəlliməsidir. Artıq 16 ildir ki, ingilis dili üzrə tədris aparır və müəllim kimi 2014-cü ildən etibarən artıq bu Jolly Phonics proqramı ilə tanış olmağa başlayıb. İlk dəfə TOEFL proqramında Jolly Phonics haqqında məlumat əldə edib. Düzdür, qeyd edir, bildirir ki, artıq 7 illik Jolly Phonics proqramından istifadə edir. Lakin onların ölkələrində də hələ də dövlət məktəblərində Jolly Phonics, Jolly Grammar proqramını tətbiq etmək biraz zaman alır, çətindir. Lakin buna rəğmən o özünün hazırladığı biznesdə, yəni kurslarında bu proqramdan istifadə edir. tell us what kind of differences have you seen once you got information about Jolly Phonics at
Yes,
Teachers
the
Conference?
thing is that
I mean,
yeah,
what is it?
the thing is that in Kuwait we usually do teach sounds and phonics, and with the help of the name of the word, the letters. Of course, we also use the sight words, like we see the word and then we have to read it, whether they know the sounds or not. That's, of course, I did do that before being introduced to Jolly Phonics, because that's the way that we learned how to do it, like see the word and then read the word. So when I the ITFL conference in UK, and I saw trainers from Jolly Phonics teaching how we learn the phonics first, and then we do the CVC word, the consonant, vowels, and consonant words, and how can we read like big chunk of words. It became so easy because now we know each and every sound of the letter. So with the help of that, with Jolly Phonics, now I can give my kids, after we learn all the 40 sounds of the letters, kids can now understand and read big chunk of words without even, you know, having the problem of memorizing or having problems reading the words. So it's been, you know, a big change in my teaching career. I started in the wrong way because that's how I've learned, that's how I've been taught. And then when I started like teaching myself, learning more, of course, you know, in the beginning, the way that we pronounce the phonics is completely wrong. Because we do use, for example, in the beginning, because we're not native speakers, we do use the schwa. So we say ba, ma, ka, sa. And with Jolly Phonics, it changed, because now I know that it has to be clear. It has to be the s, the correct pronunciation of the sound. And that also helped me with children, because when we blend, they used to say ka, a, ta. And now we do the clear k, a, t sound, which is like a complete different approach than we did before.
Totally right. The same thing happened in my country. The same, I can tell you the same experience as I was in the country they were teaching only with the letter names, which didn't help us to read at all, because they learn everything wrong way. So I'm just translating everything so that it will be clear to our population as well, that the same thing happens in other countries as well, the same experience. Hanım bildirdi ki, qeyd elədi ki, bizdə olduğu kimi Küveytdə də ilk dəfə o müəllimliyə başlayanda tamamilə fərqli bir üslubda istifadə edirdi. Hansı ki bu üslubu analitik üslub bildirirlər. Burada hərflərin adlarını bildirməklə sadəcə olaraq uşaqlara oxumaq öyrədirlər. Bununla da şagirdlər oxumağı əslində öyrənmirlər. Sadəcə olaraq bu əzbərçilik yolu ilə sözləri əzbərləməyə öyrədir sadəcə olaraq. Əslində isə belə baxanda səsləndirmədən oxuya bilmirlər. Eyni halda da bizim ölkəmizdə baş vermişdir. Və xanım bildirir ki, təlimçimiz bildirir ki, ilk dəfə uşaqlar sözləri oxuyanda təbii olaraq ki, uzun sözləri artıq, daha çox heyecanlı sözləri oxumağa başlayanda həddindən artıq sevinirlər uşaqlar. Çünki artıq həqiqətən də oxumağa başlayırlar və Jolly Phonics'lə tanışdıqdan sonra xanım artıq anlayır ki, özü belə tamamilə səhv yolla ingilis dili öyrədilirmiş ona da. Jolly Phonics'lə tanışdıqdan sonra anlayır ki, oxumağın daha asan yolu səslərlə imiş. And the second question is, should the letter names be taught at the same time as the letter
in the beginning
sounds?
When we did, you know, as I said that in the beginning we did use name and sound working all together, and then what I've noticed that children would remember the name because they already know the ABC sound. So instead of saying the sound of the letter, they would be easier for them to see the sound. They say, teacher, this is A, this is B, this is C. And I had trouble, like, in the beginning, differentiating between the sounds and the letter names. So what I did with the Jolly Phonics approach, of course, that we started teaching the name in later on, within like 2 to 3 weeks, and it did help. Actually, I do put the name if it is the same as the sound. So like S, M, I would like just push it without knowing just once, and then tell them like the M sounds and then I won't repeat it again. So I'll just say it once. It does help because, you know, kids, they already know the ABC sound. So it does help me sometimes to like say the name of the sound once and then just start with the sound itself. But it does, and I do recommend all of the teachers to start with the sound in the first 2 to 3 weeks, and then maybe just say the names of the sounds later on.
Xanım təlimçimiz bildirir ki, mənim sualım bundan ibarət oldu ki, siz düşünürsünüzmü ki, müəllimələr şagirdlərə ingilis dilində öyrədərkən hərflərin adları ilə səsləri eyni anda öyrətməlidirlər? Təlimçimiz bildirir ki, əslində biz ilk öncə səsləri öyrətməyə, sonra isə hərflərin adlarını öyrətməyə üstünlük veririk. Lakin eyni zamanda onu bildirir ki, bəzən elə olur ki, artıq şagirdlər hərflərin adlarını bildikləri üçün artıq bir səsləri onlara desəyi də, öyrətsəyi də artıq onlar özlərindən artıq onlar səslərin hərflərin adlarını bilmiş olurlar və buna ehtiyac olmur. Bəzi hallarda isə birinci dəfə sözü oxuyarkən S, Ə, M misal üçün belə bir səsləndiririk. Eyni zamanda deyək ki, bunun adı S, M-dir. Amma bunu bir dəfə təkrar edirəm və ikincidə bunu artıq bildirmirəm. Yəni, onu sonuc olaraq demək istəyirik ki, ilk öncə səsləri oxumalı, sonra hərflərin adını öyrənməlidirlər. When we look at the program, the Jolly Grammar program, as we see in the program as well, that the program starts with the sounds and later on they continue with the alphabet. So you're totally right. It's better to start with the sound and then continue with that. We'll definitely answer your questions. We'll just continue with our questions at the end of the live video. I'll just look at your questions and I will make sure that I ask all the questions because the meeting name is called 15 Minutes Talk with the Trust. My native language, it's going to be more than 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's about 30 minutes. Sometimes it's let's call it 15 minutes. And the question is that what is the difference between high frequency words and tricky words? And when it's tricky words, we have got, as you know, this type of tricky flowers from Jolly Phonics, as you see. Our classes, in our classrooms, we usually place this so that it will be easier for them to understand with the blue color, yellow color, red color, and learning the tricky words with their colors. And really wonderful item in order to decorate the classroom and help the children to remember the tricky words. But is there any difference about the high frequencies and the words and the tricky words?
You know, when I started like learning about Jolly Phonics, I really had that question. Like, I wanted to know what is the difference between tricky words and sight words. I've seen that they are the same, except that the dotty sight words are like 100 kind of words, rather than the Jolly Phonics are like limited words. But what I've learned about reading more about sight words and tricky words, that sight words are just words that you see and read immediately. You don't break the words, you don't spell the word. It's like see it and read it on the spot. Rather than tricky words with Jolly Phonics, what I've seen that we do introduce tricky words after learning the letter sounds. So that's a big difference for me, that they do spell the tricky words. For example, we do have like letters that we tell them that we don't spell them, we don't say them. Yes, exactly. Like for the sh, E is she, like E is we, R is an E that doesn't, we can't pronounce it. So in tricky words with the Jolly Phonics, it's completely different because we're not seeing and reading on the spot. We're not memorizing. We're, even with tricky words, we're breaking the words and we're reading them together as words that we have to break together to break. So that's what I've seen is the difference between sight words and tricky words.
Yeah, thank you so much. I know that this is a difficult question. We can call it even a question. And with your answer, it's crystal clear to all the So I'm going to translate it into my native language as well. Mən təbii olaraq ki, təlimçidən 3-cü sualım oldu və bildirmək istədik ki, high frequency sözlər ilə tricky wordlər arasındakı fərq nədir? Ümumiyyətlə, tricky word özü, sözün özü belə bir Jolly Phonics proqramında belə bir güllərlə əks olunur və tricky hətta burada tricky wordlərin simvoludur. Tricky hətta ona görə adlandırırıq ki, zehirli, çətin bir papağa bənzəyir. Onu açanda içindən güllər çıxır və hansı ki, bu sözləri oxumaq həqiqətən də çətindir. High frequency sözlərdə biz səsləri birləşdirərək oxuya bilirik. Amma tricky wordlərdə isə biz onu oxuya bilmirik. Yazıldığı kimi oxunmur. Misal üçün, buna misal olaraq Jolly Phonics kitabından, hər bir kitabın təbii olaraq ki, arxasında tricky wordlər var və bu tricky wordlərin hamısının özünün rəngi var. Və bura diqqət edirsəniz, görərsiniz ki, misal üçün burada V, ol, mi, şi, du sözlər var, hansılar ki, onlar yazıldığı kimi oxunmur. Bir növ çətin sözlər adlanır öz ana dilimizdə, desək öz dilimizlə və buna görə də buna tricky word deyilir və mən düşünürəm ki, hər bir ingilis dili müəllimi high frequency sözü ilə tricky wordlər arasındakı fərqi bu video ilə daha açıq və aydın şəkildə bilmiş olur. And the fourth question is, why will you suggest teachers to use Jolly Phonics and grammar?
Actually, I've been using Jolly Phonics. As I said, it's been 7 years using the Jolly Phonics, and I've taught kids from 3 years old until like 10 and 11 what they don't know how to spell and read, and it's amazing with all ages. It's amazing with all kids. I've taught kids with ADHD. I've taught kids with mental disabilities. It's a great way because it reaches the mind in a simple way. I use stories, we're using songs, we're using movement and gestures, and these things are the approaches that children do need nowadays. They don't need like a board and a letter and that's it, and you have to memorize it. We want children to remind themselves, like with stories, they do remember that the letter S is our favorite snake. They do want to remember that A isn't walking with the hand gestures. So we want the child to remind himself of the letter, the grammar, the way that we teach. I want him to be independent. And with Jolly Phonics, that's what we're doing. He doesn't need me to remind him of the letter. He doesn't need me to remind him of a certain grammar. He just remembers the way that we teach it, the song, the story, the flashcards, the colored books, and so on. And that's the way that he teaches himself after I've introduced it. So it's been a life-changing, honestly, and I do recommend it to everyone. I do recommend it now to teachers. I'm teaching teachers here in Kuwait to use it. We're hoping that it gets universal more. So it's lovely that you're doing these live talk shows to like spread, because in Kuwait it's not that familiar. Even though we're like talking about it a lot, not all teachers do know them. So with your live, it would be a great opportunity to teach them to other teachers.
Thank you so much. And my main reason, my main purpose to do the same way in Azerbaijan, to show how international program it is, and it's not applied only in Kuwait or in Azerbaijan, it's in all over the world, in India, in Spain, I don't know, everywhere, in England and America, everywhere. So I'm trying to find the trainers and invite them to live. The translation, you're going to be the translation. Mən təlimçimizdən soruşdum ki, siz niyə görə bir müəlliməyə Jolly Phonics və Jolly proqramlarından istifadəni məsləhət görürsünüz? Təlimçimiz bildirdi ki, bəlkə danışıqlarımda da qeyd etdiyim kimi bildirmək istəyirəm ki, proqram səslər üzərində düzəlib və bunun bir neçə səbəbləri var. İstifadə eləməyimin əsas səbəblərindən ondan ibarət ki, mən proqramı yalnızca sadə şagirdlərlə istifadə etmirəm. Eyni zamanda xüsusi ehtiyacı olan şagirdlərlə də proqramı istifadə edə bilirəm. Çünki proqram səslər üzərində qurulduğu üçün ilk 3 gündə çətin deməli çətinlik çəkən, öyrənməyə çəkən şagirdlərlə 3 gün olmasa da bir neçə gün ərzində artıq oxumağı, yazmağı, öyrənməyi köməyini edə bilirəm. Və ən maraqsından ibarətdir ki, proqramda hər bir şeyi görmək olur. Burada nağıllar da görmək olur. Hər bir deməli Səsin özünün nağılı olur, hamısının özünün mahnısı olur. Eyni zamanda hərəkətlərdən istifadə olunur. Bütün hərəkətlər qeyd olunduğu kimi bütün hərəkətlərdə görə bilirsiniz. Hər bir səsin özünün hərəkəti olur, özünün nağılı olur, mahnısı olur və s. Bu sadəcə olaraq sinifdə oturub yazı yazılmaqla öyrənməyə bənzəmir. Daha fərqli, daha maraqlı və daha əlvən renkdə öyrənmək olur. I would like to note that usually children hate writing, but it's important to teach them writing the same way as we teach them reading. That's why Jolly Phonics is having this type of vowel and box, which reminds me the Montessori education. As a Montessori teacher, until I got Montessori education, I didn't really understand of this box. But now it's easy for me to understand because the children can see vowels in different colors and the consonants in this, which helps them to do writing. And writing is not only taking the pen or the paper, they can do writing with different ways. And this box, articulated boxes, could help them much more. And the second difference is that usually in my country we have different kinds of magnetic letters, but the colors are different. Like each letter is a different color, but it doesn't attract the children's attention. Instead, split their attention because each letter is in different color. But here, exactly what are in in blue color and the consonant red color, which helps them to remember.
And the lovely thing about it is that the diagrams are linked together, so the sounds are linked together. So when they see them, they already know that this two-letter sound walk together and say the same sound. So that's amazing too.
So it's fantastic idea as well. And it was really interesting conversation. Thank you so much for joining. And Jolly Phonics Jolly Grammar program in Azerbaijan. I hope to meet with you again in our projects and in fact, we are planning to have a big conference again. Like 4 years ago, we had a big conference and we invited different trainers from all over the world. We had trainers from England, Spain, and then India. As you may know. So they visited Azerbaijan and we had a fantastic seminars, conferences for the government school teachers. More than 400 teachers participated in this seminar. We hope to do more about October and November this year.
Hopefully,
and hope to see you there.
Honored. Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Have a nice time.